and welcome back to Malmo. This is the WFTDA Euro Regionals. This is Game 6, Day 1. And we are getting underway to Derby in 40 seconds. So very quickly, we're going to run through the rosters.
Yeah, we were expecting a bit more time, but they've just switched the clock. And I think that's because we're running a little bit behind time. So you don't get to hear us talk. Do you want to go through Antwerp first?
Yes, please. So 05 Marie, 07 Cherry Moshpit, 10 Boo, 102 Saramati Jane, 12 Czech, 13 Queen Laquifa, 2 Freckles, 221 Shelock, 26 Sir Vixen, 357 Dark Pistol, 49 Eau de Villain, 5 Wildcard, 8 Hellfreya, 89 Hipshot, 91 Mayhem, and London.
So London are playing in pink today. We have 004 Swan, 020 Sable, 08 Party Pants, 1236 and the captain for today, Madge, 1393 Texas Heat, 18 Ellis, 237 Camerat Attack, 27 Alley Cat, 31 Vaux, 4 Delta Strike, 474 Wolf, 56 Dixie, 7 Kitty, 9 Beth Lord and 999 Oblivion Newton-John.
So this game is a quarter-final. At stake is a place in tomorrow's semi-final against Toulouse.
Yeah, and as the number 1 seed in this tournament, London Brawling are really hoping to take this game to make their bid to champs in Portland this autumn a reality. It has been a day of some of the spiciest roller derby in living memory, and I'm sure this will be no exception. Antwerp played an absolute blinder against Tiger Bay earlier. They are delighted to be lining up against London.
And they're in the black, just in case you're watching.
Yeah, we have Sable lining up for London in the pink, and that is 8-9 Hipshot, who was the absolute superstar on Antwerp's jammer rotation earlier. Will London be able to shut her down? Let's see how this plays out.
Hipshot, well-known jammer, so I'm sure London are prepared, but it is Sable out first for lead. Helmet cover off for Hipshot, pushing out just one blocker up front.
Yeah, big hit there on Alley Cat as Hipshot completes the initial. Sable on a scoring pass, hits the hips, and first blood of the game drawn by London Brawling. The full 4 go up on the boards. Ooh, I'm excited.
I couldn't tell.
I am buzzing. It's been such a good day of European derby, and
there's been upsets, but in that the upsets are how close the games have been.
Oh my goodness, the closeness of some of the games today. We've had so many 1 point. We've had a couple of games where they're 1 point at half time. We now have Delta Strike jamming for London, and I think that is number 5 wild card for Antwerp, pushing up against Camerat Attack, Texas Heat, and Kitty at the front. Pack really stretched back to the tram line.
But that's great work by Antwerp to hold back Delta Strike, who has now just passed the star. And just as Wildcard comes around to score points.
Yeah, great star pass there to Beth Lords. Wildcard not taking any chances with London's very experienced pivot rotation, but draws first blood for Antwerp. 2 points now up for the team from Belgium.
So we've had 2 jams in a minute and a half.
Listen, time today has melted, quite frankly.
It's no longer in a linear fashion.
I don't listen, in this sports hall, I think we're in some kind of like Doctor Who universe.
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
Wibbly wobbly. Wolf 474 now for London, and 13 Queen Laquifa for Antwerp. Wolf with 1 to beat at the front, picks up lead for London Brawling.
Queen Laquifa takes off the helmet cover and passes to 05. That is Wildcard.
Oh no, not Wildcard, that's Marine. We've got 5 and a 05. Those pesky numericals.
Testing that WFTDA number order knowledge.
Do you know what? These jams have been so fast and furious, haven't they? We've barely been able to finish a sentence. Do you think that's why they're doing it so fast? To cut us off? They can't hear me from here. How dare they?
So it is now 6 points to London Roller Derby, 2 to Antwerp.
Ooh, and we've got Dixie, one of my favourite people in the universe. A happier, sparklier jammer. It is hard to find in the Northern Hemisphere.
And we've got hip shot on the jam line again. That's every other jam rotation at the moment.
I think every third jam. No, yeah, every third jam for hip shots. They were running a 4 jammer rotation earlier, but given hip shot's success, I think they're gonna see how she fares against Brawling.
I think what's interesting is London are not interested in any risk at the moment, so that they, that Dixie saw that there was a potential risk. Just call the jam. Let's do another lineup. Interestingly, London picking up lead 3 times out of that 4 jams.
Nice. Yeah, London's raison d'etre this tournament is London boring.
Yes.
Like, boring roller derby. Let's not take the risk. Let's secure that coveted spot in tomorrow's semi-final.
And look at the rugby scrum of the pack on the
How dare you mention rugby in this hallowed hall? A sport with a ball?
Sorry, I'm Welsh. It's the law.
I'm half Welsh. Is that half? Have I just broken half my own law? Wildcard really grinding and working that front tripod so well.
There's a sense of calm franticness in that each team is doing everything they can, and so this is leading to that sort of messy scrum look. But it's actually quite disciplined at the same time. It's very hard to explain.
Beautiful, tenacious work here by both Janners. Yeah. The captain, Madge, tries to throw off wildcards, but after 50 seconds, Antwerp have the lead status. Sable through with the star stash.
But wildcard gets through and calls the jam. Oh, that's a tied game.
Oh, that's been very characteristic of the games so far. Very, very tight scoreline at the moment. London perhaps finding their feet a little bit. Antwerp, of course, have already played today, and they were so focused on winning that first game. That was really their goal coming into this weekend. Yeah. To play the number 9 seed when you're number 8, it's going to be tight. So they've achieved their goals already, and I think they're just going to have a lot of fun and give Brawling a good showing.
Delta Strike pushing out up front. Queen Laquifa hit out and recycled to the back, but it's Delta who's out for lead.
Jammers in both teams remarkably quick to take the star off when they're not lead. A really great tactical move to see at this level of derby. Lovely bit of offence coming in there from Beth Lords as Queen Laquifa gets her way around Texas Heat at the front of the pack to complete the initial.
The thing to be careful of, though, when jammers do that is if somebody gets a penalty before they get lead, but they get whistled lead, the other person takes off the helmet cover. We've seen this a number of times at this level. It's so quick and so drilled that they lose the chance for lead.
But do you know what? I don't think today that's actually happened. I've seen the jammers checking really carefully because, of course, these teams are all coming off a really hardened season.
Yes.
They will have fine-tuned those little errors in training. Wolf up against Hipshot now, very scrummy pack off the sucker punch skate line, jammer line. I can't remember my terminology, I'm that excited. Wolf is lead for London, Party Pants with the drawback on Hipshot, Dark Pistol looking to come in and play some offence.
Both teams with a blocker in the penalty box.
Gorgeous one-on-one blocking at the front from the pivots.
That's Marie.
That is Marie. I think it was Marie who yelled at me earlier and said, "You're doing the stream, tell them I'm the oldest one." I think it was Marie. I'm really sorry if it wasn't, but I love that vibe. So far, we've not had, and our wonderful producers can confirm this for me, we've not had any multi-pass jams except for that one.
Yeah.
Except for that one. This is our highest scoring jam at 7 points.
And Phoenix and the Child are wonderful producers. We'll just confirm that's for us. So London almost doubled their points in that one jam, taking them to 15 and Antwerp on 6. We're 8 minutes into this game and there's virtually no points on the board.
Quick run off the sucker punch jam line there for Dixie. Wildcard very quick to take that star off. And look at the kind of the interesting formation going on here at the front with London, where they caught Wildcard on the chest and then fed them into the wall. Really nice work there from Ali Cat. Dixie now on a scoring pass. Ceramity Jane doing a lovely anchoring job there. Oh, I love Dixie.
I normally say blockers should cover the inside line and go a little bit further. They did, and Dixie still got round.
So Dixie is in fact the element of air in a human body. This is the longest I've actually ever seen them stay on the ground.
It was phenomenal blocking, but then even more phenomenal jamming to get around that.
Do you know what? Wildcard's still on their initial, but has now passed off to Boo.
And that forces the call off.
But took all the way round to between turns 3 and 4 to get that star pass off. Really nice defensive work there from London Brawling. And another 7-point jam.
Yeah, starting to open up a bit of a lead. So 22 points now for London, playing 6 for Antwerp. London having lead 6 of the 8 jams that we've had so far.
Yeah, this is the story really, isn't it? But I think the thing about Antwerp is they're a very well drilled team, and they're really adaptable though within that. So I think once they figure out a few of London's jammers, they might stick to them a little bit more. However, Sable is not the sticking kind. Sable likes to be free of the wall, and they are free of the wall with lead jammer status.
London going in for the offense to try and get Sable out, but that was a massive hit to the floor.
Yeah.
Recycle on the inside back to the 888 jammer line. No, sucker punch jammer line.
Yeah, it was lovely solid hold there by Shelock Holmes, who was a real stalwart in the Antwerp defence earlier. But Sable, very experienced, very tenacious, completes the pass for 4 points. And it looks like we've had a star pass to Marie, but hasn't cleared the initial, and that is a sad place for a pivot turn jammer to be. And especially if the sad place is behind Ali Cat and Madge. Really nice defensive grind here. And Marie now
And again,
doing a bit of recycling, forces the jammer call off from Sable.
And we've seen that London really develop this tactic, and I think they use it better than the other teams, which is, if I'm going to gain very little by carrying on, let's call it and reset and have another lineup.
Sure.
And if you are getting lead 75% plus of the time, that's absolutely a risk you can take.
Just while we wait for the start of this jam, we'd like to give a shout out to our penalty box sponsor, 888, who have been revolutionising roller derby safety with cutting edge helmet tech and unrivaled fit options. Stay protected with 888, and we're really grateful for them at sponsoring this WFTDA Regionals tournament this weekend.
So Delta Strike now jamming for London, is lead and on a scoring pass. Hipshotter's got out. Hipshotter's got out and forces that call off.
Yeah.
London picking up just the 2 points.
Do you know what? I'm almost sad that London are playing I'm not. Okay, sad is not a nuanced enough emotion, but I'd really like London to run the gamut against Hipshot a bit. I want to see Hipshot work those London walls. She was so effective earlier against Tiger Bay, but London are going to play the conservative game.
And not surprisingly, I think Antwerp are now calling for a timeout, a bit of a chance to re-strategise, because I think in the last 5 minutes, we've seen a bit of a swing in the momentum to London.
Did you say swing? A bit of a swing.
It's been a long
No,
day.
I love it. Let's make that your new thing.
Okay.
I'd like to give a quick shout out to a skate and create factory, coincidentally owned by an ex-London Brawling skater, Jukebox. And it's a passion product of hers. She now plays in Barcelona, but yeah, she skated with Brawling, she skated with Team USA, with Minnesota and Madison, and you can check out her incredible skate-themed art, stickers and gifts at www.createandskatefactory.com. She's on Instagram and Facebook at Create and Skate Factory, and as someone who owns about 5 or 6 items from Create and Skate, can really recommend them for the roller derby lover in your life.
Also, a chance to give a big shout out to 2 Antwerp skaters who are currently at home, Nick Mops and Queen Yassine, who have just had babies.
Do you know what? There is a disproportionately high number of babies at this tournament this weekend, but of course we understand that with new little ones, some skaters may be staying at home, and we are looking forward to having them back on track, but also massive congratulations for your little ones. We have Eau de Villaine up for Antwerp. I think this is her first jam out with Antwerp this game.
It is.
This is Wolf's third, and she's well warmed up, as we can see, picking up lead for London Brawling.
Wolf keeping that 100% lead jammer percentage. Dixie also on 100%.
Ah, just babes upon babes. That's what I say, Wolf and Dixie. Babes upon babes. Lovely bit of offense there from Swan. Drawing the blockers from one side of the track to the other to create a lane for Wolf.
But Antwerp are giving absolutely everything. They are not, they are making it hard for the London Jammers to get by. That Sherlock Holmes picking up a penalty, leaving London with a blocker advantage.
Do you know what I love about roller derby? I mean, lots of things. But when we watched Antwerp Tiger Bay earlier, it was such good roller derby. And now you're seeing London, who are 34 clear points ahead. It will be more in a second, I imagine. So you just kind of go, oh my God, they're even better at the moment, according to Scott. Like, how is that possible? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Am I making any sense at all?
Keep getting better and better.
I've been in this building for 12 hours. I don't know if my words make any sense. We have Dixie and Hipshot. Oh, now this is a scrummy little matchup.
London with the blocker advantage, looking intent.
That's London's MO, intent. Oh, light feet on that outside line by Dixie. Hip shot with just Texas Heat and Kitty to beat. But that characteristic hip sweep round on the outside line
wasn't enough. Kitty needed to push over the line too. But, otherwise Hipshot's going to break the laws of physics, as they do.
They're just really consistent with that outside line hold, aren't they? And it's so good to watch. So we have 43 points in London London's score sheet and 6 for Antwerp. But do you know what? This, again, such a testament to the quality of roller derby we've seen this weekend. It doesn't feel like, a total, it's not a blowout game yet.
No.
We're nearly a quarter of the game clock gone, but this is some great competitive derby.
Well, and the low score. Oh, and that is a forearms penalty for Sable. So this is now a power jam to Antwerp with Queen Laquifa on the jam line.
And first power jam of the game, I believe.
I believe so too. Yes.
And Queen Laquifa does pick up the lead.
Oh, it's not lead.
It's a track cut. We thought it was a no pass. Sorry, we're getting too excited. We should slow down and watch what happens first, rather than assume we know everything, apparently.
Well, no, there was a lot of communication between the refs, and it was a very clever and quick pickup. Initially thought it was no pass, then a cut. So we have Sable back on track.
So this will be a 2 minutes jam.
Yes.
The first 2 minute jam of the game. Now here's where we start to go to work, because London have been in control of the clock so far. Sable is super experienced and really good at working an angle, and will be looking to be really careful, really patient in that Antwerp wall.
And it's the intensity of the blocking, the total focus on being in contact with each other or bridging appropriately is incredible.
Yeah.
So I always watch the blockers, not the jammers, and blocker love. And it looks frantic, but actually it's intensity.
We've had a star pass in the meantime to Marie. That's not gone up on the scoreboard yet. But Marie putting a real shift in as pivot for Antwerp today. Cold as ice hit out there by courtesy of Madge and Party Pants on Marie, who resets between the jam and the pivot line. And Sable comes off track, but has 4 points in the pocket. Woo!
That was their first points for Antwerp since Jam 5. So
great stats there from our wonderful producers. We appreciate you. And you can see on your screen Wildcard and Delta lining up, but we are in an official review called by Antwerp. And, you know, if you look at Antwerp's bench, they've got a real depth of experience there. You've got some refs, you've got some very experienced skaters. So they're going to have eyes where we can't see. So we will bring you the results of that official review shortly. Do we have any? We probably have lots more shout outs to do.
Yes, we can talk about Sucker Punch Skate Shop, who are the Jammerline sponsor, the biggest roller derby shop in Europe.
That's quite a claim.
But also very true.
I mean, yes, it's factual facts.
Fast shipping and the largest stock, expert advice at the best price. Sucker Punch Skate Shop. You can check them out online. Just Google Sucker Punch Skate Shop.
Yeah, we're really grateful to all our sponsors this weekend. Like, this is a huge undertaking, and I'd really like to thank Crime City Rollers as well, our host league for the weekend. Their accommodation of teams and volunteers is second to none in my experience. Just really phenomenal. So well organised and just great Swedish hospitality. Crime City, incidentally, you can see them in action tomorrow. They will be playing the winner of... no, sorry, I'm lying. I'm jumping ahead. I would never lie to you willingly, Roller Derby Internet, just accidentally. So Crime are playing at 11 a.m. tomorrow. They're going to play Stockholm. Stockholm with the upset earlier against Helsinki.
Antwerp are looking for a misconduct together to the London Jammer for pinning flat 221.
Oh, sorry, we just went very silent there because we were listening to Victoria Velociraptor, our esteemed head referee, tell us about the official review. So they are requesting a misconduct penalty be called on the London Jammer, which was Sable, and they are saying that pinning was used. That is a really interesting official review to call.
Yes. It's one of the newer clarifications. It came out only this year, so you may not have seen us if you're used to watching. So we will find out the result of that official review. So the no call will stand. The official review was not retained.
Yep, so Antwerp lose their official review for this half. They still have 2 timeouts remaining. London yet to take any timeouts or official reviews. I was having words and ideas about something, and now I've lost that thread. Oh yeah, I was saying that Stockholm had the upset earlier against Helsinki. So Stockholm coming into this tournament with a number 10 seed, Helsinki number 7, but Stockholm won. So they will play the host Crime City tomorrow. 9 a.m. game tomorrow, Rainy versus Nantes. But right now, it's London versus Antwerp. It's Delta Strike and Wildcard, number 4 and number 5, and barely any time because London are playing that game.
Well, London did great positional blocking to leave the outside line free for Delta Strike, but again, that no risk strategy. Got nothing to gain by this. Let's go to the new setup.
I'll be really interested to see if either team start to jam a match in this game. You know, do you jam a match in a game where there is quite a big differential, or do you just kind of run it and see how you fare? Because I think this is the first time that Wolf and Hipshot have been up against each other. That's just might be my faulty memory. Nice little bit of defensive blocking there by Wolf. She says she's not a blocker, but she can do it if she tries. And there's Wolf still with that 100% lead status. So yeah, unusual to see Hipshot without a hand pointing at them or a whistle.
Well, I think the first couple of jams, sure, but Hipshot, London are working out how to close down Hipshot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they will have watched the game earlier and really studied her. And you know, you've got some of the world's best blockers in that London tripod right now. And I don't say that lightly.
But Antwerp up front, giving equal difficulty to Wolf, who's having to push every single foot of the engagement zone.
Yeah, so that's Shelock Holmes and that's 05 Marie. We're saying her name a lot recently, aren't we?
And also working with Czech and Dark Pistol really effectively.
Yeah.
But 7 points for London in that jam takes them to 62. Antwerp's still on 8, so only scored 1 jam since jam.
Yeah, so London at nearly 8 times the score of Antwerp.
Yeah.
But with 12 minutes left in this half,
it's still an incredibly low scoring. So this is not what the score doesn't show you, is how hard Antwerp are working and successfully keeping it to 1 or 2 scoring passes on the whole.
Do you know what? This whole weekend, we've only had one team score more than 100 points by half time, and that was Nantes earlier.
And that just shows you how close it is.
Oh, but a much needed boost for Antwerp as Queen Laquifa picks up lead against Dixie, and that is unusual.
And we have 2 of Antwerp's blockers in the 888 penalty box, so that's probably what's leading London to try and speed up the pack.
Yeah, but amazing work by Antwerp there to get lead despite that deficit. Dixie working that outside line with some toe-stop magic, picks up the 4 on the pass. Antwerp looking now, slowing that a little bit.
But that's Texas Heat in the penalty box. Texas Heat, a key blocker for London.
And one of the smiliest people that you'll ever meet.
So Queen Laquifa forced to call that jam off by the threat of Dixie. Antwerp picking up 4, but London sneaking 8 in the same jam.
And Antwerp did manage to spring all their blockers free from the 888 penalty box. But London are going to start with the deficits.
And Antwerp very definitely want the rear of the box for the start. They want the sucker punch jam line.
Don't we all? I think everyone's been hugging the jam line this weekend, and that probably is because sucker punch are so wonderful, and it's to pay homage to our fantastic sponsors. Lovely little bit of shielding work there by Marie. But Madge says, no thank you wildcard, we will be taking you back to the sucker punch jam line.
Party pants and their ability to just shoot back and force that recycle.
That's party for you.
Oh, I know. I'm so glad I don't jam, because that would just be heartbreaking. Oh, and that's really good track awareness from Wildcard to come on exactly on the right space. Wildcard is currently Antwerp's most successful jammer, having picked up lead over 50% of the time now.
We have a star pass to Madge, the captain for London Brawling. That's London's first star pass. No, second, I apologise. There was one to Beth Lord earlier. And, don't count Madge out when she's got the star.
But also Wildcard using speed and the speed of the pack to their advantage gets through. That's 4 points for Antwerp.
But Madge...
That's been matched by Madge now.
Yeah, Madge with some really careful jamming there. Lovely work.
But Antwerp again in blocker difficulty. We've got 2 Antwerp blockers, now 1 in the 888 penalty box.
Yeah, and that is showing a little bit with that single blocker deficit.
So Antwerp deciding to play this long, so they are clearing the box, because they're not currently getting any strategic advantage.
Now this is difficult. Madge has picked up a forearm as a jammer, so is going to the box and will mean that Antwerp are going to have a power start. So Beth Lord out as pivots. That's smart move.
Yep.
Lord is one of the most experienced pivots in Brawling's roster, and will be able to position herself really well if Madge comes out of the box wanting to hand that off.
And Antwerp, to nobody's surprise, has put hip shot out on the jam line.
Listen, they're not stupid, right? They're a very intelligent team.
And that's some great offense, trying to clear London out of the way, and hip shot gets lead. And Madge isn't even standing it, so there's a good chance for 1, maybe 2 scoring passes.
Yeah, Antwerp still in a little bit of blocker trouble. They're just kind of bleeding one every so often. London a touch discombobulated as Hitshot picks up 4 points.
Not what I would expect, especially from, you've got Valks and Cameratatat there.
Listen, it's Hitshot. I think she's magic, okay? I'm just going to say it. I think she's a witch.
That ability to change direction is phenomenal and gets her through to score. Star pass now for London.
Doing the Lord's work, I should say.
The Beth Lord's work.
Yeah, and we've now got probably the fastest pack I've seen all weekend. London hugging that top Antwerp trying to catch up at the back. Nice little catch there by Vaux and Kamer rat attack on hip shots.
So this is already Antwerp's highest scoring jam, and Hipshot will have points in the pocket.
And so will Beth Lord as she makes her way past. That's 1-0 to Saramati Jane, who's been a real anchor in Antwerp's wall.
And it's the 3 for Antwerp.
11 points, trebling. That's a third of Antwerp, not trebling, it's a third of Antwerp's points in a single jam.
Yeah. And London have called a timeout. Not a huge surprise.
No, and this is sometimes what we see from London, and it's sometimes what we see from a lot of teams, where just 1 or 2 jams can get you a little bit rattled. And if I know Dottie, she will just be going, all right, team, let's remember who we are.
Yeah.
Let's remember what we can do, which is play really good, boring derby.
Let's take the momentum out of the room and put it back in ourselves.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep, Dork. I like that.
So, quick chance to give a shout out to Crash Course. Helps busy roller derby athletes increase strength, conquer self-doubt, and creates the habits of high performers to become all-stars and MVPs on the track and in life. Want to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Visit ChrissyCrash.com to learn more. That's Chrissy Crash with a K and a K. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Interesting little tactic there from London, where Wolf, the jammer for Brawling, went actually in front of the Sucker Punch jam line and held a bit of space for a second, but then it looks like they're switching to a 4 corners approach, so letting Antwerp fill that space. And I think that's 4-9 Eau de Villain for Antwerp, who's not been their highest rotation jammer today. But has done some really nice work. Wolf making very quick work of that Antwerp pack, picks up leads. Comes up against 1-0 Boo, but just lovely patient footwork there from Wolf to complete the initial, the scoring pass, sorry.
It was good to see Antwerp brush off the offence from Swan going in.
I mean, that's not easily done.
No.
I'm going to say that right now. If you want to brush off offence from Swan, you're going to need a real big broom. A broom made of bricks.
So, Eau de Villain coming back to the pack forces the jam to be called. It's for London, and I think we're just having a quick check with the outside pack referees.
Do you know what? It's amazing how quick things can change in derby, because we have Antwerp roughly a third of London's score.
Official timeout just been called.
We have one of my favourite scores. It's a palindrome score, 8833. If I was playing bingo right now, I'd be really pleased.
Yeah. So I think it's a penalty has been assessed to the Antwerp pivot. That's now putting 2 blockers again in the 888 penalty box for Antwerp. I think this would be closer if Antwerp could keep their blockers on the track.
And do you know what? They did really well with that against Tiger Bay earlier. Tiger Bay had significantly more penalties, and that arguably really impacted the game. Yeah. But at the same time, you've got 2 cracking players in the black and pink out there, so I wouldn't count them out just yet. I'd also like to give a massive shout out to our incredible officials for this game. La Messe, Kiravi, Bernard, Elbones, Weirdo, Holy Sheet, Goosebumps, Pretty Miffed, Dropkick Bruise, Slutty Hurst, Trash Banda, Victoria Velociraptor, Captain Robius, Junas, Major Buzzcool, Katsuzoze, Roland Rat, Tara O and Lise. Those are our skating and non-skating officials, and we appreciate them so very much.
So Delta Strike facing off against a line at the back from Antwerp. Wildcard still on their initial. Delta Strike out picking up 4.
Yeah, and this is what Delta does really, really well. She's so track aware, and she knows exactly where her offense is and where she wants them to be. Look at her now directing Beth Lord to get those points. Do you know what? Every time I watch Delta, I'm just like, I want to be like her when I grow up. And I'm 34, so it's a bit late for that. Lives on the line.
Oh, yeah.
So I just did an exciting gasp because Oblivion Newton-John is out on the line. Now I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind, because you announced in West Track.
I did. And
right.
That was their... I did speak to them, so I think I know what you're going to tell me.
That West track not earlier this year, last year, was Liv's 10th game. I'm not kidding you.
Oh, but hip shots out, overtakes, forces the call off.
But the look on Liv's face just made me so happy because she was just delighted to have leads. I really hope we get to see more of Liv a bit later on because you will not believe the turn of speed that woman can put out.
Yeah.
And speaking of speed, we've got another fresh pair of legs on the line for London. That's Ellis.
Up against hip shot.
I love Ellis. I love Ellis jamming. Now this is interesting because I think Ellis is actually stylistically the most similar jammer to hip shot in London's roster. Really great hip work and super fast down that line to pick up leads.
It was the offense. They didn't have to brush anybody off. That inside line was cleared for them by London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice little lateral duck round Sherlock Holmes there for Ellis. And clears the scoring pass. Oh, and a cut track for Eau de Villaine. Sorry, it wasn't hip shot. It's Eau de Villaine. That is our fault. Terribly sorry.
So that is Antwerp's 12th penalty in the 888 penalty box.
Ooh, that 888 penalty box is staying real warm thanks to the Belgian team. Oh, and speaking of which, Ellis is now heading to the 888 penalty box for a back block. We're going to have a jammer switcheroo. We're going to have our second 2-minute jam of the game, just as London have hit that century. So they are now the second team of today to hit the century mark before half time.
Yeah. And that's
I love
game
stats. I love numbers.
Yes.
Not in my real life, just in my roller derby life.
And this is just textbook bridging from London, holding back Eau de Villaine for as long as possible.
I love the phrase textbook in relation to roller derby because it implies there's a textbook on roller derby and that people study it.
But I would study this. I would go to a footage evening and put this up. Look at that.
Yeah, you study. Oh.
And it's
Sorry,
okay.
that sentence was finished by because there was some gorgeous work there from Kitty and Blord. They hit
caused
out
that penalty.
They hit out Villanelle. Kitty went out, so Villanelle thought she was safe, but didn't see that Blord had got the run back. So it's a second consecutive jammer penalty for Antwerp. Ellis working away on these really tough Antwerp blockers.
But
That's Marie, Sherlock, and May them.
Bearing in mind this is their second jammer penalty in this jam. London still only scored 8 points.
Yeah, but that also was a penalty. So I know they didn't sit the full one. I don't know. I really rate the Antwerp blockers when they get to. They're so cohesive when they get together, and they look like they hit like several brick walls. Never mind one.
Yeah. So this is London's first power jam start.
And they're putting Wolf out. Now, Wolf has got, correct me if I'm wrong, lovely producers, the highest lead percentage on London right now. So it's smart. And she's having a blinder, is our vice captain, Wolf. Picks up leads in under 10 seconds. That's what we love, if you're London, not if you're Antwerp. And really uses her hips so well on that outside line.
But Antwerp, just their blocking is, it's so good.
It is, but Wolf is really patient, and so you'll see that when she splits the blockers apart, she won't necessarily use speed to get past them, but she'll use her body shape really nicely. Lovely bit of offense coming in there from Swan, and Eau de Villaine trapped a little minute behind Madge, Alley Cat, and Party Pants.
And we're just watching, and the silence is because we're just watching.
I'm just mesmerised by the reformation of Antwerp right now going on. And Wolf looking at her bench coach Dottie going, should I call it? Can I sit down and have a snack yet? And Dottie goes, no, not yet. But now we're in intermission. My goodness me, what a great showing from our number 1 seed, London Rollers Derby, London Brawling.
But one equally amazing showing from Antwerp. Remember coming into this as number 8 seeds?
Yeah, I mean, like they have been aching to play London, and I think they'll be really delighted with how they're doing.
Yeah.
But there will be some locker room conversations. If you are listening at home and you haven't switched this off yet, do go and refresh your beverage, stretch your legs, pay attention to your pets, who I'm sure are extremely deprived of your company, and we will see you back. We'll see you back in about 9 minutes, because we'd like to maybe talk to you a little bit more about some stats, numbers, and other happenings. We'll see you then.
This is the totally redesigned Lifer Visor helmet from S1. Featuring our patented fusion foam, this helmet has the impact protection you've come to expect from an S1 helmet, and is both multiple impact and high impact certified. Our new custom visor is made with a high impact polycarbonate lens, which is optically correct and features our patented cover catcher, which allows for multiple covers to be worn with easy on-off. The outside lens has an anti-scratch coating, while the inside has an anti-fog coating. The outer shell is equipped with in-mold mounting hardware, so that the visor can be removed and replaced if needed. The S1 Lifer Visor helmet, where innovation and function are actualized.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate's size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised.
The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try it for yourself. We've got you covered.
This is the totally redesigned Lifer Visor helmet from S1. Featuring our patented fusion foam, this helmet has the impact protection you've come to expect from an S1 helmet, and is both multiple impact and high impact certified. Our new custom visor is made with a high impact polycarbonate lens, which is optically correct and features our patented cover catcher, which allows for multiple covers to be worn with easy on-off. The outside lens has an anti-scratch coating, while the inside has an anti-fog coating. The outer shell is equipped with in-mold mounting hardware, so that the visor can be removed and replaced if needed. The S1 Lifer Visor helmet, where innovation and function are actualized.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate size is an extra large, wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised.
The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try it for yourself. We've got you covered.
This is the totally redesigned Lifer Visor helmet from S1. Featuring our patented fusion foam, this helmet has the impact protection you've come to expect from an S1 helmet and is both multiple impact and high impact certified. Our new custom visor is made with a high impact polycarbonate lens, which is optically correct and features our patented cover catcher, which allows for multiple covers to be worn with easy on-off. The outside lens has an anti-scratch coating, while the inside has an anti-fog coating. The outer shell is equipped with in-mold mounting hardware, so that the visor can be removed and replaced if needed. The S1 Lifer Visor helmet, where innovation and function are actualized.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Hey folks, did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. If your helmet size is a small, but your teammate size is an extra large, Wearing the same helmet shell doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised.
The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor.
Giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try for yourself. We've got you covered.
And we are back with just under 4 minutes to go, and we wanted to come back in a bit early because we thought you hadn't heard enough of our nonsense. Please don't turn off the stream. But no, because we were cut off we came in a little bit later than we thought, and we wanted to talk to you about tomorrow because we do hope you are planning on doing nothing but watching this tournament this weekend. If you've got other plans, cancel them.
Because this has been a phenomenal day one.
Oh my goodness. Some of the best games of roller derby I've seen in well over a year.
And I think it's such a sign of growth in European roller derby.
100%.
Because if this tournament had been, sort of 2 years ago, it would have been very big difference between team ranked 1 and team ranked 12. Even between team ranked 6 and team ranked 9, there'd be a big difference in ability. And it's really clear from today that is just...
Yeah, no,
it's all closed up.
And it's good to see some players coming back, notably King K, who now skates under Duking, and Partio on Stockholm, who have been on a bit of a hiatus since before times. So it's lovely to see them back. We want to kind of give you a preview of what's coming up tomorrow, so you are ready to go, caffeinated, on your sofa in the morning. We have, at 9 a.m. local time tomorrow, Rainy City Roller Derby All-Stars will be taking on Nantes. Now, Rainy are the number 3 seed coming into this tournament. Yeah. So like London Brawling, they are making their bid for champs in Portland this autumn. And statistically, the top 3 seeds of the regional tournaments are the favourites to go through, right? So Rainy really want to secure that place. At 11 a.m, we have Crime, the number 2 seed, Crime City Rollers, our host league, playing Stockholm. Now, they were saying earlier, they've not played Stockholm in a sanctioned game in over a year. They are really excited.
And Rainy have only played Nantes once. And Nantes really burst onto the scene last year at West Track Story.
Yeah.
Have upset things. And I think today came here, and although the score was not close, that was the upset. Because Nantes were beaten by Lom just 2 months ago by a very small number of points, but they absolutely destroyed Lom today.
That was the biggest differential of today by a country mile, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So tomorrow we also have the consolation brackets, so the losers of some of today's games. So at 1 p.m. local time we will have Dock City Rollers versus Lom Rollers RB, and then at 3 p.m. local time we will have Tiger Bay Brawlers versus Helsinki. And then it's going to be spicy, I tell ya. And then we also have the winner of this game versus Toulouse, who won against Paris earlier in a real nail biter. That was a cracking game. And then we have the winner of Rainy versus Nantes and the winner of Crime versus Stockholm playing each other. Now, we could predict right now and say that is likely to be Rainy versus Crime, but I'm not a crystal ball. I'm not Mystic Meg. I'm just one small human with a lot of opinions about roller derby. So I'm not going to predict anything, because earlier on I was super confident that Helsinki were going to beat Stockholm, and I've had to eat all of my words and most of my hats.
And I think the one thing, if you do the nerdy deep dive I've done into the results over the last year for all of the teams here, there's a lack of consistency.
Sure.
There's been some really big upsets. London beating Crime, then Toulouse winning. There's nothing nailed on here.
Yeah, the top 3 seeds in this tournament have all been yo-yoing back and forth in the European rankings over the last year. And that's as it should be. That's our favourite competitive derby, isn't it? We have the, I believe, original first 2 jammers from the game up against each other again. That's Sable and Hipshot. If memory serves, which sometimes it does.
So.
Oh, that's got to be the quickest lead of the game. 2 seconds. 2 seconds, 2 Earth seconds.
That was Czech from Antwerp doing an amazing piece of offence off the line.
Yeah, but Sable has completed their initial pack, speeds up real fast. Hip shot comes in, picks up a couple of points at least, and is running it. Oh!
That was a beautiful apex jump to get the full 4 points.
Do you know what? Sometimes you just got to make vowel sounds, don't you? I have nothing intelligent to say, only noise.
But London also sneaking 3 in that jam to
Sable does that, man.
Yeah.
Like, Sable is super fast and very tenacious. Will not decide to slow down just because they're not leads.
and it pays off. So 115 now playing 37.
Delta strike up against Wildcard. We've seen this matchup before. Delta did come up trumps last time. Lovely bit of shielding offense there from Texas Heat.
Low block though to Antwerp for that trip.
So Delta now lead for London, and a star pass off to Bew, who has been doing a great job as pivot stay for the Belgian team.
So, you know, and we did see that in the first half, Antwerp were picking up more of the penalties. It's picking up 13 in the first half to London's 6.
You know, and that is testament to the fact that, first of all, Antwerp have played a game earlier today. You've got when you've got slightly tighter legs, you're more prone to mistakes. But London also have arguably more experience on the international stage than Antwerp, and
I think also it's reflecting the quality of play that Antwerp are defending against.
oh, for sure. Like, I mean, what a joy to see Antwerp take on London. Big hit there from Wolf on 9-1.
Mayhem from Antwerp.
But it's Wolf is not lead. Now, a no pass wasn't signalled, but I'm assuming it's that. I'm not a referee. So that means lead is still open for Queen Laquifa, but they are being held really nicely by this kind of very cloggy London wall.
Of Alley Cat and Party Pants.
And Madge. That's a trio that you don't want to come up against if you're an opposing jammer, man. Great to have on your team. Really useful.
So Queen Laquifa just pushing out 2 London blockers up front. Oh, hit out and recycle right back to the start. There you go, right back to the start, Queen Laquifa.
But Wolf, in the meanwhile, putting up what I think is going to be the biggest jam of the game so far.
And it's insane that it's the biggest jam of the game at 12 points.
Yeah, and she's not lead, so I mean, I feel like I jinxed it because I talked so often in the first half about how she'd 100% lead. Sorry, Wolfie, I ruined it for you. But doing a really lovely job here. Swan doing such a stalwart shift there as the offense in this pack for Brawling.
And having to go back to her bench to say that she's not lead. Oh, and it's a penalty.
And that looks like illegal contact. Now, I have a feeling that Wolf made contact with the Antwerp blocker when she had a foot in the infield.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's where the penalty was called. So that's going to be a power start for Antwerp unless Queen Laquifa gets a penalty in the next 5 seconds.
Please don't jinx things.
Listen, I'm not hip shot, so I'm not magic. I do not have the power. Everyone thinks that announcers have this power, but really, we're just people in very elaborate outfits who have opinions.
But there is a real announcer's curse, and we've got an official review for Antwerp.
Now that's really interesting. Why would you call an official review when the opposing jammer has been sent to the box? Because you've got to have a real good reason for, you know, what do you want out of this?
It may be the way that they came off the track.
Interesting.
They may be looking for a misconduct.
Yeah.
And we'll find out. But while we do, and you know, the officials are doing their amazing job, it's worth noting is Lamesh Seisei's 500th game
That's
officiating.
not real numbers. I don't believe there's not even ever been 500 games of roller derby in time, in my professional opinion.
But the amount of
seen-
weekends that Lamesh has dedicated to this
I
sport
don't
is
think-
something truly amazing.
I don't think I've ever been at a European tournament without them. We're going to have an official review.
Antwerp are requesting an additional penalty for the London jammer for illegal procedure.
Well,
Yes.
Dork, yes, you are in fact the crystal ball, Mystic Meg, or
Although-
just somebody who can observe the rules.
And I think it's worth noting, I said a misconduct. It is right, it is now an illegal procedure if you do not leave the track immediately.
So just to clarify, sorry, I forget that the people at home might not be able to hear the house mic. So Antwerp are requesting an additional penalty, a misconduct penalty be issued to the London Jammer, that's Wolf at 474, for the way in which she left the track after her illegal contact penalty was called. The wonderful group of zebras, our skating officials, are discussing this at the moment.
And as I said, that has just changed in the last 2 weeks. It's no longer a misconduct penalty, it is now an illegal procedure. Which, if you play, makes a lot of sense, because you're trying to get off the track and then you get misconduct, and it didn't kind of, it had a sort of dissonance.
Yeah, it had a kind of you've been rude.
Yeah.
And I've got that a couple of times, and I've gotten really upset because I'm like, I'm a good girl. I was polite to my teachers in school. I would never disrespect the refs. So yeah, I'm really glad it's been changed to a legal procedure. Although as the daughter of 2 lawyers, I also then feel like I've committed a crime, which is equally uncomfortable. So really,
Just don't cause penalties.
right, you say that,
Yeah.
Dork, but that's kind of my whole vibe. Is if you don't tell my captains. It's not my fault the rules don't like me.
Okay,
Now
here we go.
it is going to be an additional penalty by the looks of it. We'll have that confirmed. And Antwerp are delighted with that. I saw the captain going back to bench with a little grin on her face because she's a super experienced ref. And she's going to be like, haha, because that means, of course, that Wolf will sit an additional 30 seconds. She hadn't been in there for very long. And look who's on the line, Dork, for Antwerp.
Let me guess. Hip shot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ready to see her work that hip flick magic.
And a pivot line start for the first time this game.
London really favour a pivot line start on a power jam against because they can run that top of that pack quite comfortably. And Antwerp don't necessarily thrive on that. Lovely hold here.
But Antwerp also going, I've had enough of this and we're stopping.
Yeah, but do you know what? They shaved a good 15 seconds off that, and that, you know, seconds is points, points is prizes, something like that. Lots of shouts of go, go, go on the track there from Antwerp's offence.
Wolf still not standing yet, so we have yet more. Oh, now standing. 10 seconds left before they're on track.
And Hipshot really going to work against Ali Cat and Beth Lord. Beth Lord picking up a multiplayer penalty for her trouble. And Wolf now back on track and working away on this Antwerp tripod, which looks like a very sad place to be right now. Probably a sad place any time you're in it, to be perfectly honest.
Wolf pushing with all of their force up front.
And
but that was fantastic. Ceramity Jane just brushing it off.
Ceramity Jane, man, like her name has been in our mouths a lot this weekend. She's so solid and so aware.
So held back Wolf one-on-one for 15 seconds.
Listen, anyone who can do that deserves some kind of prize because Wolf is super strong.
So this is Antwerp's first jam scoring since Jam 1 of period 2.
So a good couple of jams without any points for Antwerp, and that will give them a real boost.
Yep. 8 points in that jam, taking them to 45. London now on 133, and we've got less than 25 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, and Dixie coming out to the line for what feels like the first time in ages, but I
Yeah.
think that's just due to the pace of the game. And they're matched up against Wild Cards. Again, a very split start, which really is not a good idea against Dixie because they will slalom around you like there's no tomorrow.
But Czech doing a great job of pretending to be a jammer, and that did confuse London a little bit, but they've now reformed
That is
in front of Wild
confusing.
Card.
That is confusing. Good for her. London blocker headed to the box, but Dixie going to work and threading their way past Sherlock Holmes for the scoring pass. Camo Rat Attack almost with the catch on Wild Cards.
I love watching Camera Rat Attack.
I love watching Camo. I do not like getting hit by Camo. Like, your soul leaves your body when Camo hits you.
But Dixie calling that off at absolute perfect timing. London picking up 8 in that jam, taking them to 141. Antwerp on 0.
Oh, Liv's back. I'm delighted that Liv's getting some track time this game, because like I mentioned in the first half, not the most experienced player. Has been playing Derby for a number of years, but just due to different circumstances, not a lot of games. But is such a great addition to the jam rotation.
Made a real impact in their first tournament at West Track Story.
Their speed is fantastic, but really lovely work here from Cherry Moshpit, tracking Liv laterally and leaving Queen Laquifa to get lead status for Antwerp.
And Queen Laquifa now in the pack scoring points. Oblivion still on the initial. Almost got through, but was hit out and recycled.
Yeah, lovely clogging there by Valks and Party Pants. Queen Laquifa
having a real struggle.
Yeah. Well, did we just synchronise? That was a moment of beauty. We've finally done it, Dork. We've merged brains. All the action happening in turn 1 and 2 right now, and Queen Laquifa goes, do you know what? This is no longer the one, guys. Oh, they're gesturing a power jam. Oh, I didn't see that. That's why they called it a forearm for Oblivion Newton-John. So this is going to be the second consecutive power jam, not consecutive, sorry, the second power jam for Antwerp this half. And once again, they're putting out hip shots.
Because to be honest, at the moment, they're only scoring when they're having a power jam. And it is defence all the way from London, but it's just 2 blockers out front, 3 blockers out front.
Yeah, a bit of discombobulation in the wall there for London. And really nice work.
I was surprised that they let Hipshot through there.
I mean, let is an interesting verb.
I actually think that was a let.
I don't know. I think she moved them really well laterally. She opened up those gaps, and we know that Hipshot just needs a very small gap to get those dynamic hips through. Liv entering play again, star in hand, flies into that Antwerp tripod. Can't even say words now, can I? Brain has melted.
So Hipshot pushing out up front on turn 4 and gets out for the scoring pass. Star pass by London. It is now number 9, Beth Lord, who is the jammer for London.
Oh, Beth Lord is not the jammer for London.
So it was an incomplete star pass.
Yeah, and Beth Lord is now going to the box, I believe, and our producers will check this for us, for an illegal contact penalty.
Yeah, because it wasn't a star pass violation, because then that would have gone to Liv.
Gotcha.
So it was something to do with after the helmet cover was passed.
I'm so glad I'm not a ref. All these rules happen simultaneously. I can focus on one thing at a time, and right now the one thing I'm focusing on is Hipshot, who is completing a second scoring pass.
It was an illegal positioning penalty because they left the engagement zone, I imagine.
Yeah, so not an illegal contact for Beth Lord, who is now back on track with illegal positioning. Nice catch there on Hipshot by Texas Heat at the front of the pack. And rather than run the risk of going against the 2 wall of Texas Heat and Beth Lord, Hipshot decides, you know what, I have 11 points, which tends to be her average this game, right? That's her second 11-point jam.
And Hipshot is by far and away Antwerp's highest scoring jammer at this stage, and those 11 points is just going to cement that. London have a lot of fans in the audience.
They do. We've come strong to Malmo because we know it's always going to be a good old time.
So, official timeout.
What time to give another thank you to our officials, but not just our skating and non-skating officials, but our photographers, our games tournament heads, our statisticians, our safety crew, all the volunteers who have put this 3-day tournament on. It's a monumental undertaking and we appreciate it so much. We do hope we've got lots of viewers from all over the world. There is another regional tournament this weekend, but listen, not to be biased, but the best one's going to be here, isn't it? So.
Absolutely, and partially it's here because 187 killer pads, often imitated, never duplicated, stick with the best, and we thank them for all their support at this tournament.
Yeah, 187 pads and Sucker Punch Skate Shop.
So interestingly, London had 2/3 of the penalties of Antwerp. Now they're almost level.
So a little bit of a scramble there from the number 1 seed. And Wildcard picking up a very much needed lead status for Antwerp. Sable again with the Star Stash and going in for a little bit of jammer defense before they carry on with their attack.
Well, I think London are going in for we're just going to mess your wall up line of offense.
Oh, really beautiful line control there by Sable, staying in by a toe's breadth. But no time to put points up that jam.
But Antwerp pick up 3 points in that jam, closing the gap down. 59 now, playing 149. And London have called a timeout because Antwerp were picking up a bit of steam. So if I was the London bench coach, if I was Dottie, this is what I would be doing right now.
Do you know what? Look, London has still got a very clear lead here, you know, roughly 80 points. I'm not going to do the maths at the moment. But I think London will be really grateful for that. I don't think London I think they wanted a comfortable game. Yeah. I don't think they wanted a blowout game because what they're really good at doing is adapting for tomorrow. They will go, okay, where were we losing out here? Yeah. What was perhaps not working for us as well as we wanted it to? They will be watching this footage tonight and they will hear my voice. Sorry guys, I know you have me pestering you all the time. But yeah, I'm really glad that Antwerp are giving them a very decent run.
And Antwerp will be delighted because for them this is about the differential and
100%.
how the differential turns into rankings. Having beaten Tiger Bay, you know, it was close up until the last 10 minutes and then they were able to expand that lead out. A good differential here is going to be a fantastic win for Antwerp and they'll be very happy.
London putting Ellis out on the line. Now, this is only Ellis's second jam. Ellis can be a real game changer for London. She's very good at switching up the pace. When she gets on a scoring run, you would not believe how fast her feet can move.
And it's a quick official timeout that has been called. So everybody was ready, but an official timeout. I think it's track repair.
And in the meantime, there are some songs going on.
Oh, I think it's kit repair. Oh no, it's a hole in the floor.
Oh no, it's something on the floor.
So safety absolutely paramount.
We love our track repair crew. They are the unsung heroes of roller derby.
It's absolutely killer on the knees doing track repair.
Yeah. Remember when we had knees that worked?
No, I'm really old.
Remember before roller derby made us all have premature arthritis? Those were the days. So we've got Ellis and Queen Laquifa with the stars right now. We have an empty 888 penalty box.
So Beth Lord trying to clear the outside line for Ellis.
Clears the inside instead, beautifully well.
But it was actually Antwerp who closed down Beth Lord, which was fantastic, and forced that move to the inside.
And Ellis slowing a little bit coming into that wall, but I really love Ellis's edge work. Like, she's so careful with her feet, and look how she's working those little gaps now. And Dottie tells her to call it. Interesting. I mean, she had points in the pocket, but Dottie knows what she's doing. In Dottie, we trust.
And I think when you're looking at this kind of points differential, and you've got a game tomorrow, which is going to be your chance to go to champs, global champs.
This is why
Dottie save all of the energy.
This is why Dottie's in charge, not me, because I'd just be like, guys, this looks great. You look like having a super fun time. And in the meantime, the jammers are like, Dottie, I'm dying. Please let me sleep.
But I think London are so smart on their energy and time management.
Yeah, they really are. We've got Wolf and Hip Shot. So in terms of lead, two of the most successful jammers are on their respective teams. Wolf locked down by that Antwerp tripod though. Oh, I spoke too soon. Oh no, she's hit to the out.
Oh, that was beautiful.
And they're going to go, we're going to go all the way back. Very smart eyes there from Wolf, avoids the cut.
But that was a very quick drawback by Boo trying to get that ghost cut.
Do you know what? Boo is one of those really understated blockers, isn't she? Like we've talked about her quite a bit as a pivot, but she's so good at that space control. However, after a good 40 seconds, Wolf does pick up lead for London Brawling.
And although now no longer 100% lead, the highest scoring jammer for London in this game.
She'll be pleased with that.
But hip shot forces the call off. And it is just looking for the points. I'm looking for the points. The jam rush looking at the OPRs. There we go. It is 3 points for London on that jam, taking them to 147. Antwerp now on 62. 15 and a bit minutes left in this game.
I'm really enjoying the variety this game because we've had a few bigger jams. We've had some power starts, we've had some 2-minute jams, we've had some small jams, we've had some fast jams, had some slow. It feels like a real buffet of roller derby right now.
And I've been enjoying the variety of blocking styles and walls that we're seeing on display. Oh, and that's lead for Antwerp. Wildcard picking up lead.
Wildcard having a really good game, you know, like
everyone's like hip shot, hip shot, hip shot.
I mean, again, hip shot's magic.
Yes, a witch.
But Wildcard, perhaps didn't shine as much in comparison to hip shot earlier, but is having a really solid go around. Good for her.
So, and you know what's interesting when you look at the score? So now that is 64 to Antwerp with 2 points. London have had lead 20 times, Antwerp 12.
So the lead spread is not perhaps as large as you expect. But then again, it was a fairly similar story with Antwerp and Tiger Bay earlier. It was something like about the first half, it was something like Antwerp had like 12 leads and Tiger Bay had 8 or something like that. It wasn't a huge deciding factor in the scoreline.
No.
Oh, Sabre with some absolutely stunning bodywork, footwork there to pick up lead for London down the inside line.
But that was Humphrey holding back Saramati Jane so that there was no last minute block right at the front of that
Party
pack.
Pants, not Humphrey now, but that's her old
Apologies.
name. Just in case any of you thought, has a new player materialised in London?
Old habits die hard. I'm trying my best, Party Pants. Apologies.
Sable drawn back. Sable drawn back by Boo, and Sable just throws in a shoulder hit to Boo that I think we felt from up here.
Which I don't think Boo was expecting. I think Boo was expecting just to skate round.
Listen, on the rare occasion that I've been hit by Sable, it's really hurt. And you kind of go, oh, that's so good, but also, I wish to die.
So 4 points for London in that last jam, taking them to 151. Antwerp on 64. So we have 13 and a half minutes left. A little bit of track repair going on.
And we've got a split here. We've got a pivot line start, but now rolling back. Dixie, we've seen Dixie run that outside line a few times now, and Antwerp don't really have an answer for it.
Well, they don't have an answer for Beth Lord, who's clearing the outside line for whichever jammer it is.
Listen, no one has an answer for Beth Lord, and I will die on this hill. And Dixie with an emphatic call-off and 4 points on the jam.
I'm not entirely sure Dixie obeys the laws of physics.
You should not be sure at all. Like I said earlier, this is the longest I've ever seen Dixie's feet stay on the ground.
So, I think there's some shenanigans going on the London bench.
Never. No,
So
I heard a yelp, which might have been Khmer. It might have been Kitty. We've got a lot of yelpers on this number 1 seed team right now. But we've also got Wolf with the star, Swan, Party Pants, Madge on track, and then we've got Saramati Jane, Cherry, Boo, Wildcard, all.
And again, it's this frantic but disciplined, intense blocking at the start.
Yeah, and a really stacked pack here. Oh, Wolf picking up a high block. And that is really unfortunate for London. Is lead still open? It looks like it is.
Well,
I don't know if Wolf got the high block in the process of getting lead.
well, they
so
couldn't
we'll
have
see.
got the high block after they'd left the pack.
You speak the truth, and this is why there are 2 of us, because apparently I've left all my brain cells in another room. This is why they don't let me ref. I mean, there's about 57 reasons they don't let me ref, and all of them begin with, I don't know the rules very well.
But yes, so it is still initial pass for wildcard.
Yeah.
They're trying to get some offense from Saramati Jane, but you've got Valks up front.
Oh, look at that tracking from Valks. Just glorious work there.
And you've got Sable up front as well, I think, on the...
No Sable. We've got Swan, we've got Valks, we've got Madge.
I was looking at numbers and not being able to read.
So Wolf with a 1 foot sail around the outside of Antwerp, putting up 4 points.
But Antwerp and that danger and call the jam.
So no lead in that jam,
Yeah.
I don't think.
So actually, yeah.
Yeah, no lead. Wildcard was still on the initial that whole time. I mean, real testament to the strength of the blockers there.
But it took 2 minutes for Wildcard to get out.
It took a long time. Look, two minutes in roller derby is not 2 Earth minutes. Okay, you know how planets in space have different time? When we enter the realm of roller derby, time is different.
So
I'm a scientist.
We have team timeout called by Antwerp. Smart move.
Smart move.
Smart move. I think so. We've got.
Imagine if we said dumb move. Like, how much would the roller derby internet hate us? I mean, you probably have one guy going, yeah, I would have done that as well. And it's like some guy who's never played roller derby giving an opinion. But
there are times I think it's more that they haven't called timeouts when I would have. So it's a chance for us to talk about the 888 penalty box sponsor.
Which has been a busy place the last game, has it not?
Absolutely. Both teams picking up lots and lots of blocker penalties. The Gear 40 duffel pack from 888 was designed by Derby skaters for Derby skaters. It's the last gear bag you'll ever need. Well, I'm 10 years into my current skate bag, so yeah,
But is it a 888?
It is not.
Oh well. Maybe, dear viewers at home, dear listeners of the Roller Derby Internet, maybe you should all go to 888's website and buy yourself one of these, or buy it for Dork. She'll take gifts, and buy the Gear 40 duffel pack from 888. And if it lasts you until you die, then it's technically a lifetime guarantee, isn't it?
Very true. And we all know I'm very old now, so that won't be too
Are you old in Derby years? Like, in cat years?
No, I'm also old in actual years.
Okay. Oh, Ellis running that inside line like she was born to do it. I think Ellis is on 100% lead as well, although she did lose it when she had a penalty, but we won't talk about that because she's currently on a scoring pass and doing a lovely job.
But again, not being used often, but when Ellis is on the jam line, is with huge effect.
She's used very precisely by London, and really smart jammer rotations here from the Brawling bench. Oh,
but that's Texas Heat going back to the box for another penalty.
That just means she's trying real hard. Lovely hold here by number 12, Czech, and 221, Sherlock Holmes. On Ellis at the back, 357 Dark Pistol, doing one of my favourite jobs as a blocker, which is to stand in the middle and go, you've got this, guys.
Star pass from Antwerp, so it is now...
with Marie,
who's been really impressive as a pivot and as a block, sort of blocking, jamming, pivoting.
Doing all three things. I think that's the thing about being a pivot, right? Like, the amount of... Your capacity to multitask must be massive. I've never done more than one thing in my life at once. So I genuinely don't know how pivots do it. Because you're having to think in multiple ways.
So 4 points for London in that jam, taking them to 163. Amsterdam Roller Derby on 64. So even you can work out 99 points between the two teams.
Now, just very quickly, number 27 for London has gone to the box. Could our producers find out why? Because she looks very disconcerted at that. So it's a 4-3 pack advantage to Antwerp, heading into jam 16 of this second half. Hip shot up front against Party Pants and Swan, and a lead for Antwerp. And Party Pants going to the box. So now London with only 2 jammers against Hip Shot. That is not a fun place to be.
And that's offense going in from Freckles to clear the way for Hip Shot. It was an illegal contact at the jam line.
Oh, Ali would never. Ali would never.
Yeah. Oh, look at that escape through on the outside.
And a really smart decision by there for Antwerp to call the jam because Madge had the star, and they've seen what Madge can do with the star. So holding London scoreless in that jam. I wonder if our brilliant producers could tell us how many scoreless jams London have had this half, maybe. I don't know if that's too demanding.
So
Our wonderful producers look at me going, I'm not a wizard.
So we're also starting with 2 London blockers in the 888 penalty box. So the Sucker Punch jam line is going to be an easier place for Queen Laquifa than
Yeah, but not when you've got Delta Strike up against you, who goes only 2 blockers. That's fewer people for me to hold space with. I'm going to get lead anyway. Delta now going to play a little bit of jammer defense.
Psychology, yeah.
And Dottie's going straight into the middle. And that's going to be, she's going to call for a back block, isn't she?
She is going to call for a back block.
Because I think that is one of the places where you see, because you've got the jammer on jammer so clearly. And from here, look, not a ref, but from here, that looks like very solid back contact.
We have an excellent view of that particular
We really do.
action.
Thanks, Crime City Rollers.
So that's why we're like immediately, I think that's what it is. We will find out from the referees shortly.
But don't trust me. What do I know? Like I said earlier, I'm just a colourfully dressed person with a lot of opinions. 90% of it is nonsense. But hey, they still let me do this. No one has stopped me yet, and that really is down to other people. So do you know what, people of the roller derby internet? If you want to stop me, have your best shot, because I'm having a great time at this tournament.
So I think they're still going through what the official review is.
It's a very
And we're
serious
about to hear
huddle.
from Victoria Velociraptor.
Bless VK, she's been so nervous about going on the mic, but she's done a great job at communicating these reviews clearly.
London are asking for a back block to be given to the Antwerp jammer on the London jammer.
We are the Crystal Ball, Mystic Meg, / people with eyes.
People with eyes.
But do you know what? Our eyes. Now, it's because it's really interesting because that penalty was not called when it happened.
Yes.
So, and it wasn't, you couldn't argue, oh, we didn't have a good vantage point or we didn't see it, because it was very much out of the pack. So you're not tangled up in other players. So if the ref's not calling it right away, it's because they didn't see that contact. Oh, but London seemed not bothered at all, because they're having a little hoedown, a little Kaylee, little line dance.
And I think we have to give a shout out to the cutest crop top gilet I've seen in a while on the Antwerp bench.
Oh, Johnny Be Good. He skates under Johnny Be Rude, but when he's bench coats, it's Johnny Be Good. I think it's always really funny when you have 2 teams who play in the same colours as well, because we've got 2 black and pink teams, and it's like the battle of who gets to wear what uniform. I assume that shirt colour choosing happens because 2 teams, like the captains of each team, arm wrestle and go, I want to wear this one. But apparently there is actually a rule around it.
It's based around who is the higher ranked team.
Oh,
They
see,
get the choice.
I preferred the arm wrestling vision personally.
I prefer the arm wrestling.
I just want to think about Madge arm wrestling Shelock, to be honest, and I'm sure many of the roller derby internet would agree with me. Shall we?
Shelock's going to win that.
You're going to get Madge chasing you for that. Listen, roller derby internet, if you're on our socials, why don't you tell us who you want to see in that arm wrestle?
No call stand. Deemed that the London jammer was the initiator. No contact to the back. No call stand. Official review not received.
So what happened there? The no call stands because it was deemed that Delta initiated the block by moving into the path of the Antwerp jammer.
And you know what? To be absolutely fair to our fantastic skating officials, we do not have that vantage point.
No.
We have a very good review.
We're going straight into
a very good view. Sorry, not a very good review.
So Antwerp are now calling an official review.
Oh, I love a double official review. I don't think we've had one today so far. You can't double a double. Oh, look, apparently I've gone back to my university days. Sorry about that. If you know, you know. What are Antwerp going to ask? Oh, I do wonder. Everyone's going to get a bit cold.
VK's about to come and tell us.
Antwerp are requesting an embellishment penalty to the London jammer.
Ooh. Antwerp. Oh, now, people of the roller derby internet, you have no idea how I'm excited I am to say this word. Antwerp are requesting an embellishment.
Yes.
Dork, do you want to explain that? Because
So-
this is a rarity.
It is a rarity. At one point, it was called a flopping penalty. It's basically when they,
Excuse me.
sorry. It's basically when they believe that somebody is over dramatised. Think footballer
Yeah.
roll around on the ground
Yeah.
crying because they've been touched by somebody's,
Listen,
elbow.
knowing Delta as I do, don't think Delta's ever been dramatic about a penalty. I might be wrong.
Right, so here we go with the answer.
Oh, so we've gone 2 for 2. Neither official review retained. Only seems fair. Our house announcers are very excited about the double official review. I'm assuming it's on a bingo card somewhere.
So it may be a tactical choice by the Antwerp bench to use their official review as a timeout.
Do you know? Yeah, because they've
7
only.
minutes left.
But they've only got one. They've still got a timeout left. I don't know. I reckon they were having a go for fun, because they just wanted to say we'd like an embellishment penalty.
And it is Wolf who makes it out as lead on this jam.
And if you're playing along at home, do feel free to howl.
So boo now the jammer for Antwerp, because there was a very swift star pass.
And the pack is really speeding up. We're much less in this grindy. That's the difference this game. I think I've finally kind of clocked that, apart from a couple of instances in the French games earlier, a lot of the derby this weekend has been really grindy. And that is hard to do on this floor, which is like treacle.
So it's this is a tournament about defence. I mean, it used to be all about the jammers, but this is a tournament about
The jammers?
defence.
Who are they?
Not as interesting as the blockers.
Well, we would both say that, wouldn't we?
Bias.
We have Dixie and Hip Shot now, with 6 minutes and change to go in the second half of this final game of the first day of this WFTDA regional tournament. And Hip Shot picks up lead, but is hit out by Valks and Kitty. And calls the jam after London have star passed off to Beth Lords.
But that penalty by dart pistol to the 888 penalty box means that Antwerp start with only 2 blockers on track.
I thought the way you phrased that made it sound like Dart Pistol had been mean to the penalty box, like she'd insulted the 888 penalty box, and I was like, how dare she? But then I realised that Pistol would never do such a thing. She's a lovely human being. Sable now out against Wildcard. We have 5 and a bit minutes remaining. It's been a long day here in this beautiful hall, and we have only a short time left to enjoy it. Sable's having a great time with lead status, but another star pass from Antwerp going off to Boo.
Oh, now interestingly.
Oh, Sable trying to call the jam, but a track cut issued. So it's going to be a 2-minute jam.
There also would have been a debate because Sable was touching their bottom, not their hips.
I think that the fine line between bottom and hips is, again, maybe hard to see from this angle. Sable's super experienced, so I think they would be careful with that. But either way, we've got a 2-minute jam, but we've got Antwerp's pivot Boo with the star. We've got a cycling penalty box at the moment.
So we've got 4 skaters in the 888 penalty box.
Now 3 as Sable exits. And Sable with just 1 to be out front.
And Antwerp weren't ready for Sable.
Listen, it's very rare that anyone's ready for Sable. I say that with the greatest respect to anyone who's ever played against Sable. If you're ready for Sable, tell me your secrets.
But now, and we've talked about it, we're into grinding
Yeah,
out.
this is what we love. Look at this wall work. Look how fluid these tripods are with this track coverage, and Sable spinning around like some kind of aggressive ballerina to pick up 4 points. To be fair, if I had to describe Sable, it would be as an aggressive ballerina. So
It's a fantastic description.
she's so smart with her feet.
It is just how quickly the jammers can get around and move the blockers.
Lovely pullback from Saramati Jane. accompanied by Czech and Wildcard, who of course is in the blocker position now. What a 2-minute jam that was, my goodness.
So London picking up 11 points in that jam, but Antwerp picking up 7, so the differential is still really close.
But that's despite a penalty from London,
Yeah,
so
that's
really
less-
nice work from
Less
Brawling
than
there.
100 points between the two teams. 175 plays 79.
Yeah, and Ellis is out there probably hoping to get a clean century between London and Antwerp.
But it's Eau de Villaine for Antwerp. Oh, and that outside line was clear.
Yeah, Joe been favouring been favouring the inside line most of this game, but takes the outside when she can get it. Oh,
Eau de Villaine has Texas Heat and
camera attack. Oh,
and Beth Lord.
that is a dynamic trio. Ellis fighting her way around Saramati Jane, has 4 on the pass.
Saramati Jane has done an incredible job.
Yeah, she's a real anchor in that wall. Oh, but Ellis picking up a back block penalty. So we're going to have a second consecutive 2-minute jam. Eau de Villaine now on a power jam for Antwerp.
But still on her initial pass. That was a huge recycle by Camerat Attack.
Oh, I love Kamer.
Soul destroying.
That's Kamer's defense view. It is soul destroying. It's so beautiful.
So London trying to keep this power jam down to a... No, it was. Oh, and we have a star pass.
Off to Boo once again. Texas Heat heading to the box for London, and that means London will start the next jam with a blocker deficit.
But it's interesting that in that 30 seconds, Antwerp were only able to complete their initial pass.
I mean, when you've got Kitty, Kamer, and Blord in a wall, it's not really that surprising. I mean, just one of those alone would be enough to slow you down a good amount, let alone 3 of them in cahoots.
Yeah, so, it was interesting that it took, most of that 30 seconds to do the star pass.
Oh, that felt really tiring, and both teams. Oh my goodness! And somehow we've got less than a minute on the period clock. When did that happen? Time isn't real.
So 4 points for Antwerp, taking them to 83. 7 points for London, taking them to 182. So although London, in these 2-minute jams, are scoring points, so are Antwerp, and trying to keep that differential. It's all about that for them.
And this will be the last jam of the game. Hipshot and Wolf, this old familiar matchup. And it's Hipshot. Oh no, it's not Hipshot. She picks up a high block.
Yeah.
Wolf still in the melee of this wall and picks up leads, but not clear of the pack yet.
It was that block on Party Pants. Oh, but Wolf is out. Lead jammer for London.
And our in-house announcers really enjoying howling along with Wolfie as she comes up against number 1-2 Czech, who humbles her quite significantly and goes, "We're going to go all the way back, my love."
Great bridging from the Antwerp defence.
Hipshot back on track. Madge has eyes on her, but she catches the other London blockers napping.
So Hipshot completes the initial, forces the call off, and that forces the end of the game.
And you know what? That is our expected outcome.
But I think the differential was probably expected to be bigger.
I mean, I haven't looked, if I'm being honest, I've not looked at flat track stats to see that prediction, but London will be really pleased with that outcome. They've done exactly what they came here to do on day one, which is to win that game convincingly. And like you talked about earlier, they're going to be about energy conservation. They know they're going to have a seriously tough game tomorrow to prep for. It's been a long day here, a long day to wait to play. and adrenaline management and all that will have come into it. But what a great result for the number 1 seed.
And Antwerp, at the whistle, were hugging each other delighted.
And we both know they were absolutely thrilled to be playing London, and I think they'll go back to their hotels tonight really, really chuffed with what they've shown the world today.
Yeah.
Like, good for them. So, don't forget to join us tomorrow. 9 a.m. local time is the first game of the day, which will be Rainy City Roller Derby versus Nantes. I've been Loud and Queer.
I'm Dork Mistress, and we've had the amazing producers of The Child and Phoenix.
Yep, so thank you so much for joining us on this stream today for WFTDA Regionals here in Europe. We will see you all tomorrow.